Right. So welcome back again into today's class. The next topic we'll be talking about now is a cryptography. So when we're talking about cryptography, what does cryptography mean and what does cryptography stand from? So when we're talking about cryptography, here says cryptography is the art of a hidden information. Cryptography is the art of a hidden information. Here says cryptography is a highly used in making a secure VPN connection over the internet to connect two or more locations together. So basically, when we're talking about a cryptography, so what does cryptography means? Cryptography means is the art of us be hiding our information on the internet. So for example, maybe we have office A and we have office B. They are communicating over the internet and you want the information sending from office A to office B should be encrypted. That is what a cryptography is, so that we'll be hiding those information so that unauthorized person wouldn't see whatever they're transmitting over the internet. That is what a cryptography means. When we're talking about this cryptography, we have different. The first example type is what we call the VPN. When we're talking about cryptography, we have VPN, which stands from virtual private network. So when we're talking about VPN, VPN is a private network that is used to securely connect a company multiple office locations together over the internet or to connect their remote workers to work from home to their corporate network. So basically, the function of VPN is what we use to connect different branch offices to their head office or to allow some remote workers to be working from home. So VPN will be the one to be encrypting everything those guys are doing on the network so that unauthorized person wouldn't see whatever they are transmitted on the internet. So when we're talking about this VPN, we have two types of a VPN connection. The first one is a site-to-site connection, which is what they call LAN to LAN. So we have two types of VPN. The first one is a site-to-site VPN, which is also what they know as LAN to LAN VPN. And the second one is what they call remote access VPN, which is also what they call SSL or web VPN. So we have two types of VPN, site to site and a remote access VPN. So when we're talking about site to site VPN, this type of VPN is used to connect multiple branch offices to their corporate network resources in the head offices. So for example, if you have a organization that have multiple branch office and they have head office, anytime you are connecting all those multiple branch office to their head office for them to be able to access the resources over there, the type of VPN you'll be using is what they call a site-to-site VPN. That site-to-site VPN is what they use to connect two different offices locations together. So the type of VPN we have here, second one is a remote access VPN. When we're talking about remote access VPN, this is used to allow remote users to access the corporate network resources without being in the office. So for example, let's assume I'm in the mainland, whereas I'm working for a company that is reside in the island. So in order for me to act as I'm presently physical present in the offices, I can make use of a remote access VPN. Remote access VPN is going to give me a access to access anything in the company like I'm physical present in the location. So that's the function of a remote access. So remote access VPN is only meant for a remote workers that they will be working from home so that anything they are access on the company organization should be secure. But site-to-site VPN is meant for two different locations. So when we're talking about this site to site and a remote access, we have a protocol that we're making use on these two type of a VPN connection. This protocol is what they call an IPsec, which stands from an Internet Protocol Security. So Internet Protocol Security, which is the IPsec, is the main security protocol that we use in both site-to-site and remote access VPN connection. IPsec has a lot of other sub-protocol like negotiation protocol. So when we're talking about a negotiation protocol, this is used by two VPN routers to negotiate and set up a VPN connection. So once we have a two router that is configured together, before a two router can set up a VPN connection, they make use of what they call a negotiation protocol. So we have different example of a negotiation protocol, like AH, which is a authentication header, and we have ESP, encapsulation security payload. So all those types, those are what they use as a negotiation protocol. So we have the second one, which is the authentication protocol. Basically, this ensures that data is not modified without authorization. So before you can make changes to a data, there must be an authentication. So that's the function of the authentication protocol. So we have different example, the different protocol that they use for authentication. The first one is the MD5. MD5 stands for Message Digest 5. So this guy is what they use. They use that guy for authentication, but it is less secure. So we have SHA. SHA is a secure hash algorithm. So this guy as well is more secure than what we're talking about MD5. So those things, we have HMAP, which is a hash-based message authentication code. So all these protocols are what the two router use for what we're talking about authentication protocol. So we have the next protocol, which is the encryption protocol. So basically, when we're talking about encryption protocol, this is used to make the data unreadable. So you know there's a difference between authentication and encryption. Authentication means that before anybody can make changes to the data, we need to authenticate them. They must be authorized. But for encryption, encryption means that if the two organizations sending information to themselves, encryption protocol will be the one to make sure that the data is not readable. So we have different protocol that they use when we're talking about encryption protocol. The first one is the DES, which is the data encryption standard. This guy is not secure. And we have TDDES, which is a triple data encryption standard, but we have the most secure one, which is what they call the AES, which is the advanced encryption standard. So all this type of protocol, those are what they use for encryption protocol. The next thing is a protection protocol. So this particular protocol is used to make the data, is used to ensure the secure exchange of a section key. So when you're talking about a protection protocol, this is used to ensure the secure exchange of a session key. So anytime they are sharing a session key, which protocol protects it, those are what they call a protection protocol. So we have different example inside this protection protocol, like RSA, which is a reverse Shamir Anduman, and we have DS group, which is a diffuse Elma. So all those things are what they use for a protection protocol. So the next thing I'll be talking about now is a VPN transport protocol. So VPN has different transport protocol. The first one is a PPTP, which stands from point-to-point tunneling protocol. This type of protocol is not secure. So this type of protocol is not secure, and this particular transport protocol uses a TCP port 1723. So the next transport protocol I was talking about is a L2TP, which is a layer 2 tunneling protocol. We have layer 2 tunneling protocol. This guy offers a good security. Well, layer 2 tunneling protocol is more secure than what we're talking about point-to-point tunneling protocol. This guy offers a good security. It uses a UDP port of 1701. So we have the next transport protocol, which is the SSTP, which stands from Secure Socket Tunneling Protocol. This one is very secure than when we're talking about layer 2 tunneling protocol. It's using a TCP port 443. So the most secure one, which is the overall secure, is when we're talking about IKE. So IKE stands from Internet Key Exchange. This is the most secure, which use a UDP port 500. So out of the VPN transport protocol, the most secure one is when we're talking about IKE, which is the Internet Key Exchange. So the next thing I will be talking about is a VPN authentication protocol. So we have the first one, which is a PAP. PAP stands from Password Authentication Protocol. This guy is not secure. We have SHARP, which stands from Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. This guy offers a good security. We have MS Sharp, which is a Microsoft Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. This guy offers a good security as well. But we have the one that is secure more than all those guys. We have EAP. EAP is a extensible authentication protocol. This guy is very, very secure. We have PEEP, which is a protected extensible authentication protocol, very secure as well. And we have the most highest security when we're talking about VPN authentication protocol. You know that when we're talking about VPN transport protocol, IKE is the most secured, which is the Internet Key Exchange. But when we're talking about VPN authentication protocol, the overall security is when we're talking about EAP/TLS. We start from extensible authentication protocol / transport layer security. This guy offers higher security because it supports something that something that the user know, which is the knowledge. It supports the knowledge, possession, and biometry. So something user know, something user do, and something user is. So that's the reason why this particular EAP-TLS is the most higher security. So those are the theories that we're going to be covered inside this cryptography, which is what we call the VPN. So the next thing we're talking about is the step to configure a VPN. So basically, we have different anytime you want to configure VPN, we are using IKE. The reason why we are making use of IKE is the most secure. That's the reason why we are using IKE. The first thing we need to configure IKE phase 1. We configure IKE phase 2, and we configure interesting traffic. So those are the things that we're going to configure. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to know how to configure a VPN on our router. But there's something I want to explain to you. If your company already has a firewall, maybe your company has firewall already, and you guys have already implemented VPN on the firewall, there's no need for you to come to your router again and configure the VPN again. No, so that you are not going to have a duplicate VPN configuration on the network. So anytime your company already has a firewall, and inside that firewall, maybe you guys have turned on VPN on it. No need for you to be coming to your router to configure VPN. But anytime your company doesn't have firewall, or you guys have firewall and you guys doesn't turn it on the firewall, the VPN on the firewall, that is when you can come to your routers to configure the VPN. And this VPN configuration, it is not all routers that supported it. So it is not all routers that support VPN configuration. Some Cisco routers support the VPN configuration. So the next thing I will be explaining to you now is how to configure the VPN on the router. So that's the next thing I will be explaining to you right now. But before we can do that one,